Money. We all want it. Some of us have it. But where did it come from? Well, that's what we're going to learn about today on the history of currency. Well, the earliest form of exchange was bartering, but I'm only going to be sticking to mediums of exchange that are close to modern forms of currency, if that makes any sense. Cattle, livestock, plants, and other agricultural items were used as a way to trade around 9,000 to 6,000 BC. Fast forward to 3000 BC, in ancient Mesopotamia, the first cities had what was the simplest form of representative money, in which farmers deposited their barley to the temple and in return got a clay tablet receipt that they could then use to pay off any debts and fees to the temple. At the same time in Mesopotamia, the shekel, which was equivalent to a specific weight of barley, was used. Cowrie shells and salt were also used around the same time in ancient China, India, and Africa. Around 100 years in the future, the Egyptians were ahead of their time using bars of gold as their currency. People really started to use metal as money in 2000 to 1000 BC. China made their own bronze cowrie shells as their currency for a while, but then moved on to making bronze knives and spades as currency. At around 700 BC, the first coins were made by China and India in the cities around the Aegean Sea. They all used different methods of manufacturing to make them. The coins in China were cast in bronze and looked like this. The square holes in the center were so that they could be strung together. The Aegean ones were heated up metal discs that were stamped with a hammer, leaving a coin with a branded symbol. In India, they were punched. Bronze was the main metal of choice for these times, but of course silver would be a popular material to make coins out of. They were known for being used in Greece and the Persian Empire at that time. Of course, we go back to China for the first example of paper money. They were used as IOU receipts where the amount promised in bronze, gold, and other precious metals were to be paid at a later date. Banknotes wouldn't be the standard for a long while. Coins were the mainstay for hundreds of years. Around the 1500s, most private banks in Europe adopted the trade bill of exchange. Trade bills of exchange worked as certificates indicating how much the person wanted to deposit from the merchant banker. Because traveling with your money on you was risky during these times, it was a lot safer to bring a bill of exchange that you could then redeem when you got there. Still not exactly cash as we know it, but it's getting there. The first European government-issued paper money was issued by the colonial governments in North America. The colonists traded IOUs with each other because they often ran out of coins by the time they got there from Europe. As time would progress, the governments would gradually evolve their currency into what we see today. In 1816, England officially made the currency's worth directly tied to gold. The practice was eventually carried over to the United States. In the United States, the Federal Reserve functioned on the gold standard, where the currency was backed by gold bars. However, in 1971, old Tricky Dick announced that U.S. bills would not be able to be converted to gold bars anymore. This was a part of a series of economic measures called the Nixon Shock. In 1958, the Bank of America launched the Bank AmeriCard, which is the world's first credit card, and the first debit cards being launched at around 1966. Later, Bank of America would launch Visa to combat their competitor's MasterCard, which would later be known as MasterCard. Now transactions most often happen digitally, having our money stored on our phones and computers. This is the main form of currency we use today. In 2009, a mysterious person by the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto released Bitcoin. Bitcoin started a large trend of entirely virtual currencies with no physical equivalent. These cryptocurrencies are not government issued and are operated by a decentralized authority. Cryptocurrencies are still very new, and so the future of cryptocurrencies are still very uncertain. But we'll just have to wait and see. In conclusion, mediums of exchange have always been a part of society, all the way back to the first civilizations. They've taken many forms, and I think we'll continue to see them change and evolve. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Bye.